It's a terrible football show, all right?
I want whatever you guys are smoking right now.
Come on, Shane. OH.
Damn.
OH.
Oh, baby,
go.
yeah! Shane, I swear to God.
Welcome to a terrible football show.
That's my quarterback and my teammate, man.
Ruins my fucking holiday every damn year.
Alex,
What up?
you can thoroughly kiss my ass.
Why not let us decide the top four?
Yeah, let a terrible football show
Let a terrible
decide the top four.
Fuck you, Shane.
Roll Tide. Have a good one, guys.
Oh,
Enjoy the show.
Yeah, he's got to go. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
You know, I like that Baker Mayfield and myself, man. He was baking up there in the Browns, and it just turned into a big old shit pile. So
Get that right. I will fly you out and take you to a game in Dallas of your fucking choice.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he's successful at just giving his terrible opinions, so why can't I? It's a terrible football show after all. Welcome to Terrible Football Show, episode Andre Reed. Hopefully you're having a phenomenal day today, whatever day you're watching this. If you're watching live alongside of us or watching or listening after the fact, we appreciate that of you. We don't have a full barn here today. It's just me and Jacob holding it down. No Ricky this week, unfortunately. But that, you know what that means, though? I got Ricky notes. I'm going to shout out. I won't forget them. I won't save them to the end of the show. We're going to get these knocked out very early here in the next few minutes. But I do have Jacob here. Jacob, how you doing?
Hey, man, it's the classic duo right here.
I know.
It's the two guys. It's the 1-2 punch right here. It's so good to just be us two. I miss the guys, but man, there's something different about shows when it's just me and you.
Man, Ricky, you call him out, okay? You talk to him. All right, he's the one saying those words.
No, we were talking about it before the show. Alex was saying the same stuff. We're just on the air, you know. He doesn't want to say anything.
No, we're just no. Don't drag me under the bus with you, you son of a bitch. Ricky might pop in though.
Man, it's been a great day. It's been a weird day. This whole week's been weird so far because of daylight savings time. My body has not been able to recuperate whatsoever with this schedule. Like for my job, we have a solid 8 hours of daylight to get anything done now, and it's impossible to get a job done in one day.
Yeah,
like we used to.
Yeah, that's unfortunate in your line of work. And then for my line of work, it's just like we've dropped off a cliff in business. Although we had this one random week right now of where it's like 80-degree weather down here. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's 60s now right now where I'm at. So it's weird.
Yeah, it's going back to being cold next week. So yeah, my business has dropped, but it's okay because I've set like record-breaking numbers for my market this year. So shout out to that.
Hey, congratulations!
Hey, shout out to that, baby. Let's get it. That's real world talk right there. But we're not here to do real world talk. We're here to do football talk, which is still real world talk. I'm just saying like not like our real world, you know, outside the show. The person beyond Alex Light, you know, and Jacob Giggity. Anyway, first and foremost, if you could support the boys and pick up some Rogue Energy because it's delicious. Use the referral link down below and promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off. And you can also use the referral link down below to go over to Agent Inc. and pick up a jersey because they're really nice jerseys and they have a trash can on the front of it. And why wouldn't you want a trash can on your shirt? It's just so good. Look at that. It's so beautiful. And join the Discord. You can come chat with us. Thanks for the backup there on the promotion. I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem.
That's only for the video watchers. If you're listening to the audio format, which I know you people do, and I appreciate everyone that listens to the audio, you should definitely go check out the video because there are always some antics going on in the background that you don't necessarily understand or comprehend listening to the audio format, but we do our best here. Let's go. I want to go ahead and shout out Ricky's notes because I don't want to forget until the last 30 seconds of the show because I'm going to feel so bad if that happens. So let's go through his notes. All right, here we go. The notes for today from our very own Ricky. Arkansas enjoyed their one-game win, probably losing this coming week. Hopefully I'm wrong. That expensive Cowboys O-line is killing me. At the damn 11-yard line, no blocking for Dak whatsoever on the final plays. However, still optimistic they're going to be fine down the road. Jacob, I told you Air Force sucked and didn't deserve to be in the top 25. Now, I did defend Air Force. I told him to stop picking on Air Force.
Listen, they deserved, up until this week, they deserved to be in the top 25.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed. I think they're still going to win the Mountain West, personally. That's my take.
I can see that. I can honestly see that. And if I had to be completely honest, Air Force wouldn't have made it into my top 25 if James Madison was eligible.
Fair. Which we're going to talk about today. We're gonna chat about that. Like I told Jacob before we started, we're gonna be a little bit more organized today. I've got a list. I've got a list of key points to hit. So shout out to that. We're gonna be like a real football show today. We're gonna be like around the horn or something. Shout out to that. We're organized for once. Anyway, what a comeback and weird season for Oklahoma State. Had lost to South Alabama and Iowa State, and then won the last 5, and most likely will win out. Very true. Keep in mind, week 1. Don't get me wrong. This team is very good. You know, they've had an incredible season. They lost recently, won again, but they've been ranked in the FCS. Week 1, they struggled against UCA. You know, FCS program, good FCS program right now, but they struggled against UCA. So no, that's how I felt on Oklahoma State. Is what a weird season it's been for them, and what a weird season for Oklahoma too. You know, you get the big win against Texas, the team we all thought was going to just run through the Big 12, and then they lose to Oklahoma State, who we thought was going to stink. I don't know. What a year.
Yeah, this Oklahoma State team is relatively young, and they were going into this season. So I wasn't surprised on the slow start, but I am really surprised they're starting to kick into gear towards the end of the season. I didn't think it would be this soon. I thought it would be somewhere next season where they would start to kick into motion what they want as a program.
Yeah. And the final note from the Rickster is James Madison and Liberty filing in the top 25. NCAA needs to get their stupid rule transitioning from FCS to FBS. James Madison has a very good chance to go unbeaten. Next up, Alex's boys of crappy UConn. Hey, the Huskies have not figured it out this year. Next year they will. They'll figure it out.
UConn to a bowl game.
Not this year. Next year, though.
What happened to that? What happened to that?
A lot of things, man. A lot of things. Next
also,
year.
Something to point out what Ricky said. James Madison has been ranked.
Yeah, I think he more so just meant
the.
I think he meant like, you know, the playoff thing, like we were kind of talking about, and just the bowl thing. I think is more so what he meant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, we can go ahead and dive into that. You know, it is one of the things that I had on the docket. You know, I know for anyone listening, you may see my title of Kyler Murray will save the Chicago Bears, and I will explain exactly what I mean by that here very shortly, so just bear with me. But yeah, no, the James Madison news, there's actually something kind of interesting out of that where they're, you know, kind of putting in like a waiver, try to waive the rules, you know, where they can go play in a bowl game or something, you know what I mean? Which, you know, is justified. It's needed. This is a very good program. Now we're just kind of waiting to find out if it's going to be approved or not. NCAA, balls in their court, you know, and I do understand that for, you know, James Madison. James Madison is like a once in a lifetime occurrence, right? Of an FCS program coming up to FBS and doing the level that they've done.
Yeah, I mean, I think Jackson State right now is the only other Jacksonville State is the only other dominant FCS team that's moved up to the FBS this year, at least.
Right.
Sam Houston is garbage.
Yeah, they're horrible. Jacksonville State has been exactly what I thought they were going to be. Like they weren't going to be good, but they were just going to be like, they're going to come in and be competitive. They're going to win some random ass games. You know, Coach Rich Rod over there, they're going to get those boys right and you're going to play some good games, you know. But no, James Madison has been a situation of like they've been just dominant. They've been dominant across the board, and it's just like it's a shame that they're not even eligible to go to a bowl game. You know, if this waiver rule goes through, they can play in the Sun Belt title game.
See, I don't know. I don't think the NCAA is gonna allow them to be bowl eligible this year because, in my mind, I think the NCAA is thinking, can this team be this dominant once the current round of players, juniors and seniors, are gone?
Right.
Are they going to be able to recruit? Are they going to be able to maintain this level of dominance? But then again, that's in the future. This is now. They should have been eligible last year, and they should be eligible this year. They're just too good of a football team to not be on that form of the national level.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. You know, I hope the waiver gets like, you know, gone through, but I do acknowledge that it probably won't. I feel like they'll probably stick to their guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What James Madison has going for them is the fact that the conference itself, the Sun Belt Conference, sent a letter in support of their waiver. So that's pretty huge. But how does the NCAA weigh a group of 5 conferences' word?
Right. Yeah, that's a very good point. And we're just gonna have to, see how it plays out here in the next few days. Are we gonna have an answer soon, you think?
I would hope so. I would say probably within the next few weeks we should have an answer, because this isn't something that's like an investigation or whatever like Michigan. This isn't something. This is a clear, to the point. It's either a yes or a no.
Right. I mean, hopefully by the end of this week, because we only have a few weeks left of the college football season. So
yeah,
if they can get this determined quick, I mean, would it go into effect immediately? Is that the kind of vibe we're going for? Because if so, this is going to change up how that Sun Belt title is going to be looking. Like I said,
I think it should be effective immediately, especially not only for the Sun Belt title, but also, in my opinion, James Madison would be the best ranked group of 5 team. So that would mean that they are going to a New Year's 6 bowl game.
True. That is actually very true. Imagine if they go to that bowl game and win. Imagine.
Just a big middle finger to the NCAA.
Right. Yeah, and I know Coastal Carolina over there is probably just like, just kicking dirt. Like, God damn it. Because they're the second in the East right now. So they would be the ones going to the title game as it stands now.
Yeah. And honestly, if they went to the title game and won, they shouldn't be viewed as a conference champion.
Right. Sorry, been very distracted. Had a little situation right just now that I was just keeping tabs on, but it looks like the situation is taken care of, so that's good. Anyway,
perfect.
Yeah, exactly. You know what else is perfect? Stealing signs. Perfect. Perfect mentality.
Yes.
Did you see the report that popped out earlier where Michigan said that Ohio State, Rutgers, and someone else had like given them their signs?
Yeah, the other team is Purdue, which
conveniently
is the 3 teams that are mainly going against Michigan. Pretty convenient. But also, if that was the case, why did Michigan fire Connor Stallions?
That's a good point. Probably just to kind of cover their ass.
Firing Connor Stallions, that basically it admits that something was going on. And according to all of the Big Ten athletic directors and all the Big Ten coaches that were that got together with the Big Ten commissioner this past week, there is enough evidence to prove that Michigan is guilty. And the Big Ten itself came out and warned Michigan that discipline is definitely a possibility soon. Don't know what exactly to the extent that discipline will be, but if it is as outrageous as everybody is leading this sign stealing dilemma to be, there's going to be some people that are going to be getting fired, and Mr. Jim Harbaugh is right at the forefront of those people.
Yeah, that's the thing I've been thinking a lot about, because like with this whole situation that's been going on, and the prediction that Michigan will get slapped with a bowl ban and this and that, whatever, and if that happened, Jim Harbaugh was out. There's been reports he's been keeping an eye on the Chicago Bears head coaching job, all of that shit. He's going to leap back to the NFL. if all of this happens exactly how it might end up happening, does this guy even have a shot at getting a job somewhere else, even if it is the NFL?
I've been seeing reports of the Bears. I've been seeing reports of the Buccaneers, even if Todd Bowles was to get fired this offseason, which is a possibility. I don't. If I was an NFL GM or an NFL owner, I personally wouldn't want someone with this type of controversy around them to be my head coach. It's the same reason why, if I was in Jacksonville's shoes, I would have never have hired Urban Meyer, because
True.
everywhere that man went, controversy followed.
True.
Everywhere. Utah, Ohio State, Florida, all ended in controversy. Now, in Jacksonville did too. So I think that the NFL teams that could be rumored for him to go to need to take a look at what happened with the Urban Meyer situation and kind of, weigh the pros and cons of having that type of a head coach.
Right. The one upside for Jim is at least he's proven on the NFL level. That's the one upside. Urban was not. And, well, we now see that he's probably the worst NFL head coach in NFL history, at least in my opinion.
Very true.
But no, I mean, that's what I've been thinking about a lot. Because obviously, as a Bears fan, his name's been linked to us for 3 years. This has been a constant conversation of Jim Harbaugh to the Bears, Jim Harbaugh to the Bears, Jim Harbaugh to the Bears. And I mean, it makes sense. We drafted him. He's apparently he would love to be there and stuff. But, it's just now I'm in a situation of just like with all of this continuing to come out and get worse and worse. I don't know if I would want him to be our head coach. I feel like, the Bears are already in a shit enough situation, and we've already had our fair share of off the field issues this year. I don't want to deal with more. I just don't. I hate what this regime has done with the program, where we've got to deal with these issues. Like, we're not a team to ever have these sort of issues come out. The rare situations here and there, like that one former Cowboys receiver who got busted with a shit ton of drugs. I don't remember his name though. What was his name?
Oh, shoot.
You know exactly who I'm talking about. I cannot remember his name though.
Right.
It's killing me. It's killing me. I can see the dude's face in my head. I can see his face, but I cannot remember his name right now. Oh well. Are you looking?
Sam Hurd.
Sam Hurd. That's what it was. Besides a situation like that, we don't really have controversy, thankfully, happen up in Chicago. So I that's why I'm a little hesitant when it comes to Jim Harbaugh. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of in the boat that he may have to step away from the game for a couple years while this whole thing sorts out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I could see maybe a couple years, but I don't think he'll want to wait that long, personally speaking. I don't think he's that type of guy where if he's away from football, he might die.
Yeah.
Because he just bleeds football.
True.
And don't get me wrong, the man is a very, very smart head coach. He knows the game of football well. He just should have stopped this before it happened. He had the power to.
Right. Oh, also shout out to college football playoff top 25 is starting right now.
Oh crap. I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, I gotta get that pulled up on my end, so I can have it in the background here. But no, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how things play out, because we should be getting some answers, honestly, here in the very near future. You know what I mean? Which honestly could play big effect. I feel like we're going to get our answers very soon, because I feel like this is going to play massive effect to if Michigan's even going to be able to go to the playoffs this year.
Exactly. And, I was listening earlier, Pat McAfee and Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp were all talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
It's just, if Michigan did make it into the playoffs and they got found guilty, but they were still allowed to be in the playoffs, it's just not fair for teams like Alabama, Washington, Oregon, Texas, who are on the outside looking in for that fourth spot.
Right.
Like, I get it. Player wise, it's really unfortunate. And I don't have anything against the players themselves, but if it is true They won games at an unfair advantage,
Yeah.
an illegal unfair advantage.
Yeah. No.
Which I think you'll see a similar situation like what would happen with Ohio State back in the day with Jim Tressel and the tattoo gate. A lot of players will leave the program. They'll transfer somewhere else where they can actually play, and we'll get an interim head coach from Michigan for a year, and then they'll sign somebody the following year. But I think bowl eligibility wise, they should be stripped this year.
Right.
And they should be stripped of their wins as well.
One of those cases, like what happened to that one head coach for North Carolina. Drawing a blank on his name too. He actually coached again after that. He coached recently, I think, to for either FAU or FIU, one of the two maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah,
but
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. But he had one particular season, I think, with his North Carolina years that were completely stripped of its wins. I'm pretty sure, and he was like given all losses. I just can't remember the dude's name, but yeah, no, I mean, if all this investigation turns out the way that it is, then yeah, I could totally see Michigan just getting stripped of all their wins. And as we're watching the college football playoffs, polls right now, obviously Michigan will probably still be top 4, but man, I can't help but to think, just imagine they're just going to get completely shoved out of that potentially here in the next couple weeks.
Yep.
Man, what a wild situation to follow with all that. Honestly, it's the wild weekend of college football. I mean, Washington USC was a hell of a game. Washington got the dub, staying undefeated. I expect them to be in the top 4. If they're not in the top 4 now, that is a goddamn shame. That is a goddamn shame if they're not in the top 4 at this point.
Take out Florida State then?
Yeah, I'd take out Florida State. Yeah, I would 100% take out Florida State. I mean, Washington has now, in my opinion, got I know we've been down on USC, and rightfully so. USC, hasn't had the greatest defense. And coming in at number 25, we have Kansas State, 24 North Carolina, 23 Tulane, 22 Iowa, 21 Arizona. Shout out to that. But USC is still a good football team. While defense has struggled, they are still a good football team. So, I mean, Washington did what they had to do with that team. They did what they had to do with Oregon. They got the job done with 2 big ranked opponents there. So, I mean, I think Washington is fully justified hitting that top 5. With that Washington game, I was kind of curious. Did you see the clip of Caleb Williams? I was kind of curious everyone's thoughts on that. I've seen a lot of back and forth on it. I've seen a lot of back and forth.
Yeah, I get it. I get emotion runs very high. But when you are the face of college football and you've had everything handed to you on a silver platter, it is your fault for going to USC, first off. A team that's notorious for not having a defense.
Yeah, fired the coordinator, too.
Should have transferred out. Should have transferred to a better overall program. More rounded.
Number 20, we have Notre Dame, 19 LSU, 18 Utah, 17 Oklahoma, 16 Kansas.
Oklahoma drops very far.
Yeah, they dropped 8. Yeah, no, that was... I personally had no problem with it. I know like a lot of people were just like calling them soft and stuff, but dude, we've seen NFL players cry. Granted, I don't think we may not have seen an NFL player off the top of my head that's jumped in the stands with his parents, but I have no doubt in my fucking mind that an NFL player has hugged their mom, after like a Super Bowl loss and cried. I know this is just a game, but this game, like, USC season is already in shambles, and this just made it worse. I mean,
yeah,
I don't blame him for having emotions. I'm not going to sit here and call him soft. To me, it just shows that he really gives a shit about the game, even if he knows that he's not going to the playoffs this year. 15, Oklahoma State. Missouri at 14, Tennessee 13. Tennessee is too damn high, in my opinion. Oregon State at 12, and Louisville at 11. I'd even argue Louisville might be too high. I think Louisville.
Why Tennessee and Louisville are high, right?
Yeah.
It's because certain teams play Tennessee still to come this season, and it's because Florida State will end up playing Louisville in the ACC championship game. Yep. So they need those teams to play high-ranked teams.
Yep. Anyway. But no, overall good weekend of college football. Missouri couldn't pull it out. Kind of unfortunate on that one. I was really upset about that one. But I feel like Georgia can still catch a loss this year. I really do, man. This is not the same dominant Georgia team. They're still good. They're still dominant. They're deserving of their undefeated record as of now. But there are cracks in that armor. You know what I mean? There are cracks there.
If Missouri came within 10 points, Ole Miss is a better team than Missouri.
Right.
So I think Ole Miss can get it done this week, but we've been saying that a couple times so far this year, and no one's been able to knock off Georgia.
Yep. Kansas State almost knocked off Texas, which that's not necessarily a surprise. Kansas State's had some struggles, but they're still obviously an excellent football team. That one came very close. Your Ohio State Buckeyes kept it tight in the first half. I was a little worried for you.
I was too, but Ohio State is notorious for being a second half team.
Yeah.
And I'm not really sure why people are saying that the Michigan game against Rutgers was a blowout and the game against against Rutgers for Ohio State was them surviving.
Right.
Not really sure why that's a thing, why that's a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were both blowouts. Inevitably, they were blowouts.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Ole Miss, they came in at number 9. Penn State came in at number 10. So, I mean, Ole Miss, man, you're right. That would be the next big challenge right now for Georgia. Is that this upcoming weekend? It is. Yeah,
that is this weekend.
That is this weekend. So that's going to be a game to watch. Will it be our game of the week? Find out here soon, because I actually don't know what our game of the week is, because there's a couple of really good matchups. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, Georgia plays Ole Miss at home, and then they go to Tennessee and to Georgia Tech. So This is honestly the last chance that Georgia has to lose in the regular season.
Alabama coming in at number 8. No change on that one. I'm still not high on this Bama team, but I've seen some people say that Bama's going to win out. Bama's going to beat Georgia. And I'm talking non-Bama fans. Let me stress that. I've even seen some talk that Jalen Milroe could win Heisman, which I'm not going to rule that out. There's no Heisman frontrunner at this point. I thought there was with Penix Jr. I think he's still in the running. But, you know, I've said this this is the third season of this podcast, and I've said this basically all 3 years. Man, it feels weird because we are still in a state of where, in my opinion, we don't have a face of college football.
Yep.
Like, Trevor Lawrence was that face, and then whoever it was before that, I'm drawing a complete blank, like Baker Mayfield. You know, Baker Mayfield was that face, arguably. You know, Justin Fields was that face. Like, we had these faces. Joe Burrow was that face. After all of those guys went to the pros, I feel like we have not had a face of college football. I really don't.
It's because all the top teams are in this weird state right now where they're trying to find their new identity.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what's happened to Clemson. Clemson has completely just been destroyed this season.
True. They got a dub this weekend, though, didn't they? Who'd they beat? They
did get a dub. They beat Notre Dame.
That's who it was, yeah.
Pretty convincingly, too.
Yeah. You want to know who else got beat this weekend? Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
TVD, 3 interceptions. You know, the thing that pisses me off so much about the Miami Hurricanes and being a fan of them is, man, like, they lose games like that they should not lose, and then they win games that you didn't think they would win. So, like, honestly, like, this weekend, this is the big game for me. We're going, you know, playing fuck Florida State. This is the game for me. I would not be shocked if we won this game. Like, I really wouldn't, because Miami is just that team. They lose games they're not supposed to lose, and they win games they're not supposed to win. If we came out with a W this weekend in Tallahassee, it would not shock me. I'd be very hyped. I'd be very excited that we would be the one to give fuck Florida State that one on their record. That'd be pretty sick. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not. But it'd be pretty fucking sick. Fuck Florida State is a 14.5 favorite right now, so that is an oof. Also, Texas came in at number 6. So, shout out to Texas. They're still in the hunt.
I was alluding to it last week a little bit. If Alabama wins out, they win the SEC championship. Yes, they're a one-loss team, and the Pac-12 champion would also be a one-loss team. I think the SEC champion would get in before Pac-12 champ.
Well, hang on. If Washington wins out, though, come on now. Like, wins championship and all, they're going. Oregon coming in at number 6. Ooh, okay, all right.
Is that the same as last week?
Yes, that did not change.
Oof.
Oh, you got to be shitting me. Washington back at 5. So basically, in my opinion, the top 4 probably barely changed.
I can almost guarantee you they jumped Georgia.
Yeah,
Georgia. Above Ohio State.
Georgia went probably to 1 because
which is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Their mindset is they beat a good Missouri team. That's probably the only mindset.
We beat a good Penn State and Notre Dame team, though.
I know. I agree with you. That's probably going to be their logic, though.
Michigan should be number 4.
Watch. It's going to probably be. What would you do if it was Ohio State?
I'd shit a literal brick.
Man, I want to see that. I want to see that logo pop up now. Let's see a brick get shit out right now. Okay, it's fuck Florida State still. All right,
I saw red
clear.
first.
Yeah, you're in the clear. Yeah, so the only thing that probably changed is I'm willing to bet Georgia's just back up at 1. That's probably what it is.
Stupid if that's the case.
Yeah. Michigan at 3. This is it. So Ohio State's probably at 2.
A very good Rutgers team too. Rutgers is a lot better this year than they have been.
I'm all about the Scarlet Knights, baby. Let's go.
Bowl eligible for the first time in a while.
Yeah. Yeah, who would have seen that one coming, right? All right, let's hear it. Number 2. Let's hear it. Is it Ohio State or is it going to be the Georgia Bulldogs? Here we go. Who's it going to be? Ohio State. I'm just reading subtitles. Nothing's popped up, obviously, but I think I saw Ohio State too. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute.
They're drawing it out for the views.
Oh. I think it's going to be Ohio State, man. Is it Georgia?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Ohio State stays at 1. There you go.
Thank you.
OH.
IO.
Here we go.
I will say the gap has narrowed significantly.
Yeah.
Now that Georgia actually has a ranked top 10 or top 15 win.
Right. Okay. All right. I still think Washington should be top 4. Is what it is, though. Is what it is. I think
four of the top 6 teams in the country still remain as Big 10 teams.
True. Very true. Shout out to Washington, Oregon going to Big 10, unfortunately. All right. Well, let me go ahead and address this because obviously we're like 30 minutes into the show and I've yet to address my title. I probably need to change the title. I don't know. I'm bad at titling some of these. There are some weeks where it's like the title is so hard to come up with because it's just like nothing explosive happened from the week of football, and you just have to kind of come up with something, and I'll come up with something, and then it'll take us an hour to fucking get to it, and I'm just like, I feel like that's the reason. That's one of the draws to the episode, right? So. Anyway, yeah, Kyler Murray is going to be the savior of the Chicago Bears. And I say that not because we're going to trade for Kyler Murray, but because Kyler Murray is set to play this weekend, which meaning Arizona might start winning some games, meaning it's going to further set the Chicago Bears to get the first overall pick this upcoming NFL draft. Because Cardinals are currently 1-8, Bears are 2-7. I think Panthers are 1-8 as well. And big game this weekend, baby. Bears Panthers. Big game this weekend. Obviously we got the Panthers pick, so that's very helpful, but we need to, I don't know how this weekend needs to go in best case. What is the best case scenario? Cardinals win this weekend and, which I don't know if they will. They play Atlanta, so I think it's actually possible. And then what, does the Panthers need to beat the Bears? Is that best case scenario?
Bears need to beat the Panthers.
Okay. Yeah.
They're banking on that draft pick that they got from the Panthers.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And then if the Bears continue to kind of lose and the Cardinals win, that will help still hopefully set us up for the second pick or third pick.
Taylor Heineke starting this week again?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's going to be a close game, I think.
I just got to say, though, like, you know, I do understand Kyler coming back, but at the same time, you know, he's just got to be like, man, we're 1-8. I mean, for fuck's sake. I mean, I do get it. You know, you want to get in there, you want to get some reps, you want to show that you are a team player and stuff like that. But you know, he's got to be thinking, dude, we're 1-8. Like, what the fuck am I going to do? You know, this team fucking stinks. Like, what am I going to do? I have Call of Duty to play.
Well,
Modern Warfare 3 just came out.
I mean, outside of the 49ers, second place in that division is pretty wide open still.
I mean, that's true. They'd have to literally win out. Imagine if Kyler Murray came back this weekend and the Cardinals went out.
Their schedule. Okay, so their remaining schedule, home against the Falcons, then they go to the Texans, they're home against the Rams, go to Steelers, home against 49ers, go to Bears, go to Philadelphia, and are home against the Seahawks to finish the season. No, there's no way they win that. There's no way they beat the 49ers and the Eagles.
What would you do if they did? Shit a brick?
I would turn in my sports card.
Like, all right, that's it. That's
Yep.
it. No, that is going to be a tough slate. You know, I think Kyler is going to get them some wins, which at this point is really, I guess, the most important thing, because it's kind of similar to when the 49ers traded for Jimmy Garoppolo and he came in and won his first, 6 to 8 games in a row with the 49ers.
Yep.
6. You know, that builds into next year. You know, everyone in the Cardinals building, without saying it out loud, they're aware that this season's over. You know what I mean? But they can still try to win out, be as competitive as possible to help build into next year, especially since now they're going to actually have their franchise guy. So I feel like this going forward is going to be, I feel like, one of the true testaments to Jonathan Gannon as a head coach. Obviously, we've already seen a test all year, and honestly, in my opinion, he's passed the test. This Cardinals team has been fucking competitive for the most part. You know, with their backup quarterbacks, technically third string backup quarterbacks. They released Colt McCoy, who was the backup quarterback. You know, so like I give Gannon all the props, man. That record may be 1-8, but that has been a competitive ass 1-8 team. You know what I mean? Like they've been a shockingly competitive team. So now this going forward, you're going to get to actually see what the Cardinals can do to an extent. You know, they're not like a loaded with talent roster by any means, but you're going to have your quarterback back, you know, so now's your chance to actually see what this team can be. And hopefully Kyler Murray will be the savior of the Bears.
I think one of the main reasons why this Cardinals team has been able to stay competitive was Joshua Dobbs.
I know. Dude.
That man.
What a story.
Talk about a story.
Yeah.
Talk about nothing it'll never happen again.
No,
ever happen again in the NFL. You get a man who was traded to the Vikings, never took a snap, never had a practice, nothing. No cadences at all. Didn't even know most of the team's first names. And that man balled out.
And won the game.
For the Vikings.
Practicing cadences on the sideline with his center because he doesn't know them. Just what the hell, man?
Statistically speaking, the odds of him winning that game was probably like 0.0001%.
Are the Vikings' chances dead? I say no.
No.
Okay. I truly say no. I really think Josh Dobbs can get the job done.
Right now, they sit at the 7th spot.
Yeah.
That's a wild card.
Yeah. No, I think the Vikings are very much still alive in this whole thing. I really do, man. And Josh Dobbs is just, man, what a feel-good story. It really is, dude.
They have a relatively easy schedule, too, to finish the season.
Do they? Okay.
Saints, Broncos, Bears, Raiders, Bengals, Lions, Packers, Lions. The Bengals and the 2 Lions games are going to be their hardest, but I can guarantee they can beat the Packers, the Bears, the Broncos, the Saints, and the Raiders.
I agree 100%. Speaking of the Raiders, man, shout out to that game. Shout out to Antonio Pierce, man. Shout out, dude. Beating his former team and beating them convincingly. Everyone having cigars after the game. just dancing on Josh McDaniels' grave. What a situation that's come out to be. Don't you ever talk about the fucking Patriots like that again. You fucking hear me, you son of a bitch. Like, oh my God, what a situation that turned into.
Did you hear about the meeting that they had, like all the players had?
Yeah, that's what I was referencing.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, no, that's what I was referencing, dude.
Craziest part about that is the fact that Pierce was the one that was appointed to defend Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, I know. And that's when the situation came up. She's like, oh, we got to have like the mindset that you can beat anyone every week, which, hey, that's great leadership to coaching right there. 'Cause that's the mindset in life, baby, is have the mindset that you can beat anything and do anything. And he's just like, that's how we were in 2007 when we beat the Patriots. And then after that, that's when Josh McDaniels was like, don't ever talk about the Patriots like that again. I'll fucking kill you in your sleep, you son of a bitch, if you ever talk about the Patriots like that in front of me again. Like, dude, what the hell? We got Tyler that popped in chat. Off topic. Who let Iowa be ranked again? Question marks. That's fair.
Probably because they're gonna win the Big Ten West.
Unfortunately,
it's pretty much a crapshoot over there,
dude. It really is, man. Like, let me pull it up real quick. Like, they probably will win the Big Ten West just because it's like that is such a shit show over there. Like they are a 7-2 team that should not be a 7-2 team. They are ranked and they should not be ranked, but they are just because of like it's just how it's played out. They have a great defense and a great special teams. I think we can sing praises about that all day, but that offense has failed them like time and time again.
One of the problems with Iowa though is the fact that Cade McNamara got injured.
Yeah,
pretty early on in the season too.
Right. I mean, look at these past wins, man. Talk about slugfests. 15-6 over Wisconsin, a 12-10 loss against Minnesota, and a 10-7 win against Northwestern. what a absolute slogfest. Jesus Christ. They're playing the Rutgers Scarlet Knights this weekend, so I think Rutgers can actually catch that dub right there, baby. I mean, it helps Penn State, but still, if we beat Michigan and Michigan beats Ohio, we in the ship. I mean, all right, that's Tyler's take on the Penn State Nittany Lions right now. I mean, I think that would be true, though, right? Yeah, I mean, if they beat Michigan this weekend and then Michigan beats you guys, yeah, they would be in the championship, wouldn't they? For the East? Yeah, okay.
The funny thing is the matchup predictor on ESPN, according to the ESPN analytics, not the money line, but the ESPN analytics, they favor the Nittany Lions this weekend.
Really? Good.
It's a 58.8% to a 49.2%, but it's still favored. But Michigan still has the money line at 4.5.
I am feeling Penn State this weekend, personally. That's where my vibe is going towards. I would be
if it was a night game.
Yeah, see, if it was a night game, I'd be all in. But since it's not a night game, man, that's where I'm a little. It's one of those things like that big noon Saturday fucking failed us. You know what I mean? Like this should be a night game. Wide out game. That's what this should be. Because if they have the case, Penn State would win, like up front. Tyler says Jay Freight can beat Michigan. I think he meant can't because he then posts the record saying 3-6 against them. I mean, hey, that 3-6 is about to be 4-6, Bubba. Get ready for this weekend. Let's go.
James Franklin just can't win the big games.
No, he can't.
He's notorious for not being able to win the big games at all.
No, that's just what he's known for. Which has caused a lot of people to be like, oh, fire Jay Frank. But then it's like, who else are you going to get better than him, for Penn State?
I'll be completely honest with you. Completely honest. I respect James Franklin so much for being able to step into the Penn State program and reviving it after the whole Jerry Sandusky, Joe Paterno controversy that happened.
Yep.
And basically what I thought killed that program. I didn't think that program was ever going to be revived again, but James Franklin was able to do that. Now, Penn State is as good as they'll ever be. I do not think Penn State will ever be better than what they are right now, and that is third best in the East. Top 10 team in the country, but third best in the East.
That's just how good the Big Ten is.
At least
Yeah, true. He also threw up 1-9 versus Ohio, which yep. He also throws Matt Rule to Happy Valley. Oh, calm down, Chief.
Absolutely not. This is his first year as Nebraska head coach.
Yeah.
He ain't moving.
Now that is a good point. Tyler said incorrect. Billy O.B. he held it down, but Jay Frank kept it up. That's fair. Billy O.B. he kind of did some things there. But Jay Frank's really put Penn State back in like the top 10. To your point, Billy O.B. has kind of held it down. Where they're still like, oh, we're a program. We exist. We're here.
Yeah, but honestly, outside of Penn State fans, no one remembers B.O.B.
Yeah, true.
It was literally Joe Paterno, then James Franklin.
Tyler said made Hack look like a good quarterback. True.
Made him a top pick in the NFL.
Yeah, made him a second-round draft pick to the Jets, who already had a crowded quarterback room.
Yep, and I think he touched the field maybe like a handful of times, if that.
I don't think he did. I listened to like a little interview that he did that Tyler sent me, and he talked about getting drafted by the Jets. He's just like, I get drafted to a team in the second round with literally no vision for me because they already have a crowded room, 3 other quarterbacks, and they draft me in the second round, and I never see the field.
Yeah, that was when they had Geno Smith still, right?
Yeah. What a time.
They had Geno Smith, Mark Sanchez, and somebody else.
Yeah. What a time for Hackenberg. Old Hack. But I don't know. Let's see. So the next thing that I had on my slate here to make us an official show where we have a docket. So we've been talking about this a little bit. It was the focus of our episode a few weeks ago. But now there's been a lot of news popping out about this. And that is involving like head coach hot seats and stuff. Involving one particular name. A legendary head coach who will probably go down as one of the greatest, if not the greatest head coach in NFL history. Might be fired before the season's over, based on reports of the Boston Globe that we are talking about Bill Belichick. Is this all smoke, or do you think there's some actual fire behind this?
I think there's some legit fire, and I think a lot of people are getting this from some lip readers being able to lip read Jonathan Kraft, Robert Kraft's son, his mouth. And what the lip readers were saying is that Jonathan Kraft was just saying that this team is not good at all. And as we've come to know with football specifically, quarterback and head coach, they take the blame every time when a program or organization fail.
Yeah.
Obviously, we know Mac Jones he's on his way out soon. May not be this year, might not be next year. It just depends on where the Patriots fall on draft order. But I do think Belichick's out. But I do think he gets instantly picked up.
Yeah, I don't see him walking off into the sunset. Someone's going to give him the biggest bag on the planet to be their GM
he's
and their
too
head
close
coach.
to that win record. Way too close to that win record to retire now.
Now, another little aspect of this whole scenario that I've been seeing some rumors on is that if this happens and Robert Kraft parts ways with Bill Belichick, that Robert Kraft's, in his mind, home run hire would be Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel to the Patriots.
I could see that.
I can see that too, especially with how the Titans are. Let's be honest, the Titans are a sinking fucking ship. Let's be real.
Best thing about the Titans is the defense, and that's thanks to Mike Vrabel.
Yes. Like, imagine Mike Vrabel as the New England Patriots head coach. Super Bowl winning linebacker, legend of the Patriots, coming in to be the new head coach.
Legend of the Ohio State Buckeyes too. Thank you.
OH.
IO.
Dude, what a storyline that would be.
Who? Okay, if he does go to the Patriots, you think they try to keep Mac Jones for a couple years just to see if it was not just clicking with him and Belichick?
I think he'd get a year. A year is what he would get.
Yeah.
Like if this is the end of Bill Belichick this season and next season, if they manage to swing for the fences and actually get Mike Vrabel, Mac Jones will be there for a year because they would be. This is Mac Jones' third year right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, next year be the fourth year of his rookie deal, and they have the option. They have the choice to pick up the fifth-year option, which I don't know if they would pick up. That'd be the ultimate question if they'd pick up the fifth-year option. But he would be there a year because he'd still under the rookie contract, of course. So he'd have it basically a prove-it year if they don't pick up the fifth-year option.
Yeah, because let's see. Right now they have a 2-7. Wait a minute. They have a 2-7 record.
Isn't that wild to think about? Isn't that wild to think about?
Better than that this year.
No, that's why these stories have been getting some heat is because the Patriots are 2-7. Isn't that mind-boggling? The New England Patriots are 2-7 under Bill Belichick. What a time in football! This is a weird football season, my guy.
And it does not get any easier for them schedule-wise.
It doesn't.
Colts, Giants, Chargers, Steelers, Chiefs, Broncos, Bills, Jets. It doesn't get any easier. You know, honestly, tank right now. Because you would at least, you probably wouldn't get Caleb Williams, but there are a solid number 2 quarterback and a very solid number 3 quarterback in the draft this year.
Yep. Which that's also the other wild part is the Patriots are legitimately in play to get like a top 5 pick and try to go after a Drake May or a Caleb Williams.
Is Bo going to be in the draft?
Yeah. Bo should be in the draft. No, this is a great quarterback draft in my opinion.
That's a Patriots guy right there.
Bo Nix. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. That is a Patriots guy right there.
No, I'm telling you. I said like last week, the Patriots guy is the one that's in Chicago right now. Send Tyson over to New England. That is a Bill Belichick guy. But if Bill Belichick's not there, it don't matter. You know what I mean? It don't
Who do you
matter.
think picks him up?
Who, Tyson or Bill?
Bill.
Oh.
Do you think it would be a coach trade?
Man, it would have.
Has happened before.
Well, I mean, it depends. Like, you know, if he gets fired mid-season, then obviously no. But like, if they're going to let him ride out this season, then in my opinion, you trade his ass. You get some value back for one of the greatest head coaches in NFL history. That's just boom, end of story. That's what you absolutely have to do. But man,
the problem though is the fact that the Patriots would not be only replacing a coach, they'd be replacing a GM too.
Oh yeah, because Bill's not going to work with another GM. He's just not.
Well, no, I'm saying the Patriots.
Oh, I mean, that's
the GM
true.
of the Patriots.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, Patriots would have to get a new GM as well. That's true.
That puts the Patriots in a real big pickle. And you're talking for the Patriots, you're talking maybe another 5 years before they start being dominant again. Robert Kraft is getting old. He might die.
Yeah.
Not saying he will.
Yeah,
I hope he doesn't, but you know, it's possible.
He's in like Jerry Jones kind of territory in that front.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, for the Bill thing though, if it was a coach trade, it would be to the NFC. Like they would trade him to the NFC for something. There's no way they would let him go to the AFC team. There's no fucking way. So it's just looking at the NFC landscape. Who could be a good fit for Bill Belichick? Could it be the New York Giants and they go ahead and get rid of Brian Daboll?
Could you imagine if Sean McDermott got fired?
Oh.
And Bill Belichick went to the Bills.
Oh, dude. Or what about Bob Saleh and he goes to the Jets like he was always meant to?
Yeah.
Kevin Stefanski.
Oh, man,
and he goes back to the Browns.
Circle.
And he goes back to the Browns.
Oh, man. And he brings Nick Saban with him.
Yeah. Oh, God. Tyler had one question in chat. Name a player from your team that you wish could have a do-over. So like an example he gave is like Javad Best to the Lions, like a do-over on their career, another shot at their career. For as a Bears fan, you can't help but to immediately say Kevin White. in recent memory. You know, you really can't. I mean, he was an absolute monster at West Virginia and just got consistently hurt throughout his entire career. Even now, I think he was last in like a practice squad for like New Orleans or Arizona here recently. But Kevin White comes to mind. Johnny Knox comes to mind. I thought Johnny Knox was electric. I would love to see his career play out. Honestly, even though he didn't necessarily have a horrible career, I would like to see a do-over for Jay Cutler. I've always been a Jay supporter. I thought we really underappreciated Jay. I really do. We just didn't, when we had good teams, we were Super Bowl potential teams in 2010 and 2012, and Jay Cutler was playing lights out. He just kept getting fucking hurt. I can't say a do-over for some of my favorites, Devin Hester, Lance Briggs, Charles Tillman. They're all fucking goats and, in my opinion, should all be Hall of Famers one day. So, yeah, I would say like Kevin White would be the top of that list. Johnny Knox would be up there. I was a big fan of his. Jay Cutler to an extent, just to maybe get a new shake at things with a fresh O-line maybe, or something like that. I don't know. What about for you?
Couple names come to mind. I mean, I wouldn't say they're legends necessarily, but one of the top ones is DeMarco Murray.
Fair.
For at least us, for the Cowboys.
Yeah, never let him go.
Yeah, man. Talk about an electrifying running back when he was on fire.
Yeah.
And then he left, went to pretty sure the Eagles first and then the Titans.
Correct. The Eagles literally just got him to keep him away from Dallas. That's it. Let's be real.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Yep. Horse shit.
But honestly, I mean, he's a legend in his own right, and he's up to be a Hall of Famer potentially this year. But Tony Romo.
Yeah.
I don't know, if he got a do-over, if he'd be able to keep himself from being injured as much, but I think with the team that we have now, he could win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I think the team he did have in like the 2014 run was a better team with Des Bryant, Jason Witten, DeMarco Murray, that electrifying offensive line, which was the best in the NFL for nearly a decade.
True.
But man, I just talk about one of the best quarterbacks, him and Dan Marino, man, and Warren Moon.
Yep.
Some of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game of football statistic wise and to never win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And just get completely shafted, in that regard. Especially Dano. I mean, God bless. I mean, there are people, and I don't blame them. Like I would very much debate it as well. There for a while, people still put him as a top 5 quarterback of all time. Period. He would be in probably my top 5. I've always been a hard stand of Joe Montana as number 1, but I don't know. My stand on that might actually be breaking for another individual that I'd never put at number 1 very adamantly. But Dan Marino would probably be in that top 5. I love Dan Marino, man. Like, obviously, I didn't get to grow up watching him, but you've seen enough tape. This dude was a freaking electric machine. Peyton Manning would be in that top 5 for sure. I don't know who else I'd throw in there. I'd put those 4 up there for sure. Those 4 would be up there 100%. Who would be my 5th to make my top 5? I'm not a John Elway guy. He'd be probably breaking into top 10 for me, but I don't consider him a top 5er. I don't know. I'd have to think about it. That'd be tough. Another guy, who's got shafted a lot throughout his career, even though he did win a Super Bowl, was of course obviously Drew Brees. Multiple 5,000-yard passing seasons. That's never been done in history. Never even won an MVP, and just couldn't get back to the big game. Unfortunate.
Yeah.
But for the question Tyler asked, he did throw out there Aaron Maben for Buffalo because his career was a meme and will always be a meme for me being a Penn State and Bills fan. Fair. Aaron Maben's career was, in fact, a meme. I will say on the Jaguars front, for me, a name that immediately pops to mind, of course, is Justin Blackmon. What could have been? if he didn't have all the off the field issues. What could have been with Justin Blackmon and the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yep.
Another one for the Bears is Cedric Benson. You know, rest in peace. I'm glad he got a resurgence in Cincinnati, and I'm glad I still sometimes think about the game where he went back to Chicago and absolutely lit Chicago up. But that was another one of those what could have been, you know, for the Chicago Bears.
A couple names for the Bengals, mostly quarterbacks. You know, you have Andy Dalton, you have Boomer Esiason, you have Carson Palmer. All three quarterbacks that were great. Boomer went to multiple Super Bowls and lost both times to the 49ers by a field goal.
Yep.
You had Andy Dalton, who won that division. I'm pretty sure it was like 7 years in a row and just couldn't win a playoff game.
Yep.
Obviously you had Carson Palmer, who made it to a Super Bowl, lost to the Steelers. Outside of quarterback for the Bengals, Chad Ochocinco. That is a man who also deserved a ring.
God, I love Chad so much, man. He was such an electric receiver. I love him so much, man. He's one of my favorites. Also, Matt Jones. Yeah, I see. Okay, he's not on my personal list, but I acknowledge on why he would be on someone's list. I do acknowledge that. He's just not on my personal list of like top do-over. Personally, though.
Ryan Leaf.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be that's one of the ultimate do-overs, right?
I was looking up because I was curious on where he's still ranked QBR wise, and outside of the players that are still in the league, QBR wise, Drew Brees is leading, then Tom Brady's second, and then Tony Romo's third for career QBR.
Tony Romo was such a damn good quarterback, man. He couldn't get it done in the postseason. So unfortunate.
Is mainly thanks to Aaron Rodgers, but
yeah, Aaron Rodgers. That'd probably be the other guy that made it in my top 5. There you go.
You're putting a Packer quarterback up there.
Look, man, I hate the Packers, but I'll show my respect when it's needed. I'm a respectful individual.
Matthew Stafford.
Love Stafford.
That would be that deserves a do-over.
A do-over right now. A do-over right now with MCDC, baby. With this defense, this team, put Matthew Stafford with the Lions, man.
Speaking of Matthew Stafford,
Carson Wentz is in town.
Yeah, is he about to get benched?
I thought he was hurt.
Is he hurt?
I thought Stafford got hurt. Because, I mean, there was someone else who started this weekend for the Rams, I thought. Like, is that Brett Ripien, whatever his name is?
Ripien or whatever?
Ripien, yeah. Who knows what happened to Stetson Bennett, dude? I have no idea what happened to that dude. He just left the team, and that was last we heard about him. No clue.
Yep.
T's and P's. Obviously, that's got to be something personal going on. T's and P's to him on that front. No clue on what's happening. But yeah, Brett Ripien
starting right now.
Do what?
Stetson Bennett would be starting by now if that was the case.
Yeah. So I think Stafford just got hurt again. Honestly, let me look.
This is probably his final season. I'm not gonna lie. He's won his Super Bowl, and now he just keeps getting injured.
Yeah, Stafford did get hurt. Okay. Yeah, honestly, I think it will be too. He keeps getting injured. I believe his wife is now once again battling cancer again, but it's very early. Obviously, her first cancer battle was very well documented the first time back in Detroit. But I do believe something popped up again. But I think it was super minor. I think. So I think this is going to be the last season for Matt Stafford, which is a bummer. I'll still never forget him getting drafted because obviously in the time that I've been watching football, he is still, I think, the only player to ever get drafted before the night of the draft. And that was just always cool. I remember watching the video of where he stepped outside in New York. He was at a dinner. And he got the call from Detroit right then the night before. Hey, we're drafting you number 1. We're letting you know right now. We're not waiting. We're drafting you. That's special, man. In my opinion, that's an extra level of special. I mean, everyone who's going to get drafted first, for the most part, you know what I mean? Like I feel
Yeah.
like maybe like last year Trayvon and Aiden probably didn't know, but a year before that T Law knew, Joe knew
Yeah.
before that, they knew,
Yep.
but like for Stafford to find out the night before and it was official, like ESPN reported it, like it's like, hey, this is locked in there, he's the first pick, even though we knew he would be. I don't know, that was just special, man. Yeah, he's a special player. He's had a special career, but yeah, this is probably his last season, which is super unfortunate. It's going to go out on the injury bug there.
I guess the rumor, because obviously Sean McVay hasn't said why, but I guess the rumor is that Stetson Bennett's dealing with long COVID from when he had it back in 2020.
Really? Okay. Yeah, T's and P's on that. Like I said, it was going to be something personal. So if that's the case, T's and P's. Tyler said, did y'all see the beef with Channing Crowder and B Marsh? I don't know if it's old news because it's like 3 to 6 days ago, but boy, no, I did not. But I'm not surprised by this because it's always been like kind of pretty vocal that there was a beef, obviously, since Fred Taylor and Channing left I Am Athlete to start Pivot. It doesn't surprise me. It's unfortunate because honestly, like I love B Marsh in terms of him being like an athlete. He's my favorite receiver in NFL history. I love Brandon Marshall to absolute death. I love the story that he's put out there about the battle of his borderline personality disorder that he's gone through and the charity that he runs with it and stuff. I love B Marsh, man, but man, since I don't know, I feel like the I Am Athlete stuff is unfortunately really giving him a big power trip. Because there were some issues that were definitely caused with Channing and Fred that never actually came to light. So no, I have not seen whatever's going on between them, but I would be very curious. Fred Channing went in on B Marsh because of his interview with Scam Newton. No, I have not seen Fred or Channing's comments, but I will have to look into that. I am quite curious of that. Some other news in the world of football, like we said, we touched on Carson Wentz, is once again, shout out to Aaron Rodgers for being a freak of freaking nature and doing like 3-step drop backs and throwing the ball 60 yards. This man's coming back. I mean, by the end, in December, he's coming back. And then the Cowboys had a pretty big signing. Cowboys had a Cowboy level signing. Let's be honest. This is a Jerry Jones signing. Let's be real. You know it. I know it. Ricky knows it. Brady knows it. Everyone listening knows it. Cowboys Nation, we dem boys know it. This is a Jerry Jones signing. Martavius Bryant.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either for you guys, but it's a Cowboys signing.
I fucking hate it, man. I really, really do. And this just proves that we overpaid Michael Gallup.
On 4.
Big time overpaid him. CeeDee Lamb is a dog. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's the number one wide receiver that we should have, but I think he'd be better suited in the slot. And that the Brandon Cook signing is non-existent. Brandon Cooks has been barely playing.
I think that's the biggest thing that pisses me off the most right now about the Dallas Cowboys is like Brandon Cooks has been so uninvolved. Like I love Cooks, dude. Like everywhere this dude has gone, he has performed. Cooks is one of Tyler's guys. I'm sure Tyler shares that sentiment that like why the fuck the Cowboys are not using him. He has performed everywhere he's gone, including the shit Texans last year. Like what are we doing? Which we got to make sure to touch on the Texans here in a minute. Lord have mercy. But what are we doing?
I think with Brandon Cooks though, I'll be honest. We have some really good young talent in Kevontae Turpin and Jalen Tolbert. Those two have been showing up big time here recently. And we have 2 pretty good tight ends in Jake Ferguson and Luke Schoonmaker.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's just too many hands in the cookie jar, basically.
Right. Which man, I hate that. Because hasn't Brandon Cooks had like a 1,000-yard season for like multiple years? Hold on, let me look. Brandon Cooks is a dog, okay? Like, hold on. I want to see if the Cowboys are about to ruin this fucking stretch. I think he's been on a stretch. Let me look. All right, no, it was ruined last year. But even his first 2 years in Houston, he racked over 1,000 yards, and he also didn't get in 2019. But no, I mean this dude's been a dog everywhere that he's gone. You know what I mean? He's completely performed. Tyler says, I don't want to hear it. We let Coke Beasley work in Buffalo with a crowded field. That's fair.
Yeah. Listen,
Coke
listen here.
Beasley. I know the
Cole
K and the L are right
was a
beside
very
each other.
underrated. He was very underrated, wide receiver wise. Him, I would put Cole Beasley in the same realm as like a Danny Amendola. Really tiny receiver in the slot who can just squeak by defenders and be open just randomly down the field.
Yep.
And make unbelievable catches.
That reminds me. Another player I would love to see have a do-over, not my team, Austin fucking Collie. Indianapolis Colts, because he was another one of those guys that was just a little guy that could get open and just squeaky dude, just get open down the field. That's another guy. But anyway, no, I mean you're right. That's exactly what Cole was, 100%. But hey, touching on the Texans though, CJ Stroud, Rookie of the Year. Are we going and locking that in?
Oh, absolutely. He should be NFL MVP.
I mean, I hear the argument. I hear the argument.
He's the best quarterback this season, and without him, the Texans would be shit.
Dude, like the amount that he's been able to ball out with this shit Texans team, just kudos, man. Kudos, brother. Like, oh my God. I mean,
if Jacksonville wasn't as good as they are, the Texans would be winning the division right now.
I mean, a 14-1 ratio for TD INT. Are you kidding me?
And it's an Ohio State quarterback, nevertheless, who never transitioned well to the NFL. Ever. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Justin Fields would be if he was in a better situation, I think he would be just as good as CJ Stroud. But that's neither here nor there. Just statistically speaking, this has never happened before where a rookie quarterback has been this good. And I cannot believe they dropped the game against Carolina.
No, I mean, it's honestly unbelievable. Tyler's saying, hey, no money mill slanders allowed. Give Dougie the weapon CJ has. Look, man, CJ's
he has Tank. That's all he has is Tank Dell.
I mean, what do you mean weapons? These are not superstar weapons, my guy. He's just getting the job done, and it's impressive. You know, it's impressive on multiple fronts, right? It's impressive on CJ, and it's also impressive on D'Amico fucking Ryans, Houston Texans legend, getting it done in his first year as head coach. And I hope that paves the way, as well as the outstanding play. I hope that paves the way for Antonio Pierce to be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, because I feel like that man's going to earn that job. I really do. I really, really do.
I'm looking at the depth chart right now for the Texans, and my Lord, the amount of people on IR right now on both offense and defense is insane.
Yeah, and the fact this team is like, what, 4-4? Unbelievable.
Yep.
Unbelievable. What is the Houston Texans?
Hey, shout out though, this past game, CJ Stroud finding his former Ohio State Buckeye receiver in Noah Brown, and they were balling out together too. Yep. Noah Brown, Dalton Schultz, both balling out in that game. Former Cowboys as well.
Yep. God.
We should have never have let Dalton Schultz go, and it still pisses me off today that we let him go.
Man, 470 yards, 5 TDs, a 71 completion, 30 for 42. Just
no interceptions.
Dude, what a game.
He's throwing one interception all season.
And obviously there'll be more, he could likely end the year with, let's say, probably 6 picks. I mean, that's possible. Let's be real. We got a long season to go. He's still a rook. Mistakes are going to happen, but either way, he may throw 5 to 6 picks, but he may end up throwing, God bless, 40 touchdowns.
Man, I don't know if he gets over 5 interceptions this season, honestly. I can't tell you how many times I have heard from numerous teams, from numerous officials, and numerous people around the world of sports that CJ Stroud does not talk and act like a rookie at all.
Yeah.
He talks and acts like a veteran.
Good. Love it. Man, I wonder how Carolina's feeling right now.
I think Carolina's in a different situation, to be completely honest, because they just fired their head coach last season. They got a brand new spanking head coach this season who I think personally is a little bit more rough around the edges than what the Texans have, and just don't have as good a talent as the Texans do as well. And plus, I was never really a big fan of Bryce Young or any Alabama quarterback, because Alabama quarterbacks are not what makes Alabama Alabama.
Yeah. I think Texans has a more balanced team than Carolina, but I would argue that Carolina has at least two stronger pieces on the offense for Bryce to utilize that he's just not. And that's Adam Thielen, who is fucking balling out this year. Shout out to that on fantasy. Let's go. And Miles Sanders, who unfortunately has been underutilized.
Big time.
So, I mean, he's got the talent. It's just in that regard. And plus got some good talent on defense. No Brian Burns this week, though. He's on a concussion protocol, so no Brian Burns this week. But I would argue that, that I feel like they're almost to the same level, of talent. It's just, I really just think it's coaching, number one. I really do. And I think I think CJ's better than Bryce Young. That's it. CJ Stroud. They just did a freaking Dragon Ball fusion just now. CJ Stroud was my number one in all of my power rankings going into the draft, and I stood by that. I knew Bryce would probably go first, but I fully believed in CJ Stroud being the best quarterback in the draft, personally. I think we all did. I think we were all in that boat, weren't we?
Well, of course I was.
I know you were. I can't remember what Ricky was. I think Ricky had CJ at number one.
Same
with Shane.
Obviously the bias for the Buckeyes, but I was high on CJ Stroud just because of how well. I mean, out of all of us here at ATFS, obviously I watched more tape on CJ than everybody else. Yep. I mean, but there's just something about him. His attitude, the way he goes about himself, the way he plays, and it's unlike a rookie. I cannot remember the last time a rookie entered the NFL with a veteran mindset.
Right. What, Joe, Trevor? That's the first ones I can think of. Trevor, kind of debatable because he got shafted with Urban, but Joe?
Man, I would say yes, but I don't know if. I think Joe entered with a little bit of an ego.
Can you blame him?
I mean, no, I can't blame him. But if I'm thinking correctly, the last quarterback off the top of my head that I can think of that entered the game of the NFL with a veteran mindset and went about himself just calm, cool, and collected, Sam Bradford.
Yeah. God, what a throwback name there. Jesus Christ.
Right?
Tyler says famous Jameis.
No.
No.
No. Him and Marcus Mariota that year, man, those two were both so full of themselves. Even though they both got knocked out of the playoffs.
Oh, Tyler says, JK, you said calm, cool, and collected. I don't know, man. I would put Joe and Trevor in that category personally.
See, I would too, but I don't know. It might just be a recency bias.
I think it is.
Two.
I think it really is. Let's see. Outside of those guys, I really don't know. I wouldn't say Goff and Wentz. They were after famous Jameis and Marcus.
Yeah.
2017. Who was 2017? Was that Miles? Yeah, that was Miles. And after that was Baker. I don't know. I'd argue Baker, honestly. Baker's always had that chip. Baker's always ready to throw some hands. So
yeah, but I don't think he was calm, cool, and collected entering. I mean, look at what he
fair.
He was so egotistical, and people were comparing him to Johnny Manziel.
Fair. And we definitely can say it was not Kyler. That's for sure. At least in my opinion.
That man just wants to play his video games.
Hey, Modern Warfare 3 just came out. Hopefully he's having a great time. Or, I mean, the campaign did. The multiplayer is coming out Friday. Hopefully he'll have a fun time. Let's see. Did I have anything else? I think that might have been my main points. Yeah, that was all my main points. That's all I had. Do you got any points from the weekend you want to shout out?
I think Will Levis will bounce back. I think,
All right, hold on. I have a question. As I just noticed this. Did you change the ticker and put the Bears the worst franchise in football, or did I do that? Did you do that when you held the showdown for me when I was on vacation?
Yeah.
The fact that it transferred over to mine, I didn't know it would do that. Because you did that on your computer. I didn't know it would transfer over to mine. I just noticed that.
If you go back and watch that one that I did host, I also put something along the lines of like Shane Smells or something just to throw his name out there. But I deleted it afterwards.
That just came across the bottom for me on our very slow moving ticker. And I was just like, what the hell was that? Oh, we got Ricky in here real quick. What's up, Ricky?
Man, I'm here the rest of the show. Woo! I tell you what, I ended up having to call a ball game over here at Sheridan tonight, and it ended up being just a 12-minute half for the first game, and then it was a full girls game, and now I'm here for the rest of the show.
All right, cheers to that. Cheers to that. How you doing, man? Up, and he's gone. And he's back.
That's if I can stay.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How you doing, Ricky?
I'm all right now. If you would have asked this morning, it's probably been pretty bad because my first game last night was a Woodlawn Bauxite game. And I ended up having to give a technical foul to the Bauxite head girls coach. He's being a dick. And so, so I was ticked off about it. I'm like, this is my alma mater here. What the crap, people? And so, but other than that, like I said, it's been a pretty good day.
Good to hear. I made sure to shout out all your points at the very beginning of the show, so I would not forget it.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I usually leave some things just in case you guys run into it. I didn't know exactly what all y'all were going to talk to, but I will say this much: as far as football news goes, I think the biggest thing right now is the sign stealing.
Yeah.
And I think there's a whole lot more to it than what meets the eye. At first, all fingers were pointing toward Jim Harbaugh. Now it's more. Now there's going to be more that's possibly, but I'm starting to wonder if anything's even going to come out of it. Because if I'm not mistaken, I read an article today that the NCAA has not found any fault in Michigan or anything like that. So we'll see how it comes out.
Yeah, well, we dove into that quite a bit, where it's like, we should be getting an answer honestly soon, because this is going to impact, Big Ten championship. This is going to impact, playoffs. This could all go into effect soon if they find anything, concrete and move forward with it.
And it needs to.
Yeah.
It really needs to.
This needs to get figured out quick, because this is obviously a very, very big deal. And also tagging into that, the thing that we kind of talked about is obviously if they get like a playoff ban, bowl ban for a few years, there's no way Jim Harbaugh is sticking around. It's like, would he even get hired somewhere? Like, would he get hired in the pros? Would a GM actually hire him? Because I know he's been linked to the Bears for like 3 years, and me as a Bears fan, I'm just like, oh, I don't know if I really want or need that controversy up in Chicago right now. We're already shitty enough.
Well, I'll put it this way though, Alex. Robert Kraft has been through two major scandals with Bill Belichick. Jim Harbaugh will get a job in the pros somewhere regardless. I personally think he's gone regardless.
Yeah.
And that's just me. Because here's the thing. He's losing a slew of the starters. He's losing that core group that's played for him the last 2 years. And this is probably going to be his last chance for at least another 2 years to even win a championship.
True.
So, I don't know if he sticks around after this year.
That's fair. That's fair. I've been seeing a lot of reports for the past about month that he's keeping a close eye on the Bears job. That's the one that I've seen the most, which kind of makes me scared.
And to be honest with you, I think Justin Fields sticks around if they hire Jim Harbaugh as a coach. I think Jim Harbaugh could really help his game.
I do as well.
Jim is obviously a quarterback guy, so I do think he sticks around.
It's honestly also going to depend on if we get the first pick again. If we get the first pick again, unfortunately, Justin's gone. He's gone.
Marvin Harrison Jr., take it all day long. Get him the best receiver that has come through the draft in years.
No, I agree with you 100%. Like, if the Bears, let's say, have the first and second pick, or the first and the third pick, we're drafting Marvin Harrison with the third pick. We're drafting Caleb Williams with the first pick. I mean, that's just what they're going to do. Do I like that? No. But is that what's going to happen? Yes. Doesn't matter who the coach
here's the
is.
thing. I mean, Caleb Williams. I think he's shown a good poise as far as offense goes and everything like that. But when it comes down to a breakdown situation, where it comes to pressure, winning big games, we haven't seen that from him, especially this year.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, we're going to see them lose at least another game, if not 2 more games this year, before he. I mean, I understand that there's a huge difference between the pros and college. You have some college quarterbacks who are terrible in college, but find some way to win in the pros and vice versa. But I mean, if I'm the Bears, I'm not picking a quarterback. I'm picking Marvin Harrison, like Jacob has said. I think you can write this down, Jacob. Marvin Harrison's going to be Rookie of the Year next year when it's all said and done. I really think he could make it that much of an impact on a football team, and I think he can make an impact right now if he was eligible for the draft this past year.
Yeah. No, I agree. With the Bears and having what looks like it's going to be 2 top 5 picks, I mean, it can go so many ways. I mean, depending on where they are, the Bears are going to draft a quarterback. Then that second pick, it's like, do you just go ahead and get Marvin? I say yes. That's my number 1 pick. Or do you get like Joe Alt out of Notre Dame, or the tackle from Penn State? Do you get Brock Bowers? I mean, it's going to be basically going to be a quarterback and a choice of one of those 4. So it's kind of fascinating. I personally don't want to get Drake May or Caleb Williams, but at the same time, I do have that. I do have FOMO of like, what if Caleb Williams really is the next Patrick Mahomes? What if he is? We don't know. We can say that he's not, but what if he is? We don't fucking know. And then the Bears missed out on that again. So I don't know, man. I'm just riding this train.
I just want to point out something. I had ESPN pulled up on my other monitor on YouTube TV. For the top 25, and I just looked over because I haven't looked over in probably since that ended.
Yep.
Why am I watching Dallas Mavericks legend Dirk Nowitzki playing pickleball?
That sounds like great television. This sounds like great television.
Why am I watching one of my favorite? Oh, Jason Kidd is on the other team.
Hey, just some retired guys, man, enjoying some pickleball. I haven't played pickleball.
Jason Kidd thinks
I am interested.
Basketball coach.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, did you see where pickleball is going to be in the
Must be some
Olympics?
celebrity thing.
I did see where pickleball is going to be in the Olympics. I also saw where flag football would be in the Olympics.
That's huge. And baseball and softball, too, which is really huge. It should have been. Baseball and softball should have been in the Olympics a long time ago.
Right. It's going to be exciting.
Well, I think baseball at one point they took it out.
Okay.
Japan is going to run over everybody in the Olympics for baseball.
Yeah, true. Especially the Otani over there. All right. Ricky, is there anything in particular that you would like to shout out and talk about since you're just popping in? Because if not, we were going to hit our dicks of the week and then hit our picks.
Before you say anything, Ricky, can you please tell me your opinion on the Martavis Bryant? signing?
Yes. The Jerry Jones move.
So what'd you say now?
I think it's fucking stupid that we signed Martavis Bryant.
I mean, at this point, I wouldn't understand that. It's almost like
Ricky, I think we're
say that
losing
at
you.
all.
I think we're losing you.
I'm in a rough area right here between Sheridan and Whitehall. I'll be back in this. Like I said, it'll be fine.
All right. All right, good talk. Oh, what a legend. What a legend. All right, I don't know how quickly he's going to join back in. So, there he is. Never mind.
Oh, there he
I hate being out in the middle of nowhere. Martavis Bryant, no, it's I don't understand it.
It's a Jerry Jones move, though. Let's be honest. I think we can all agree to that.
It is.
Yeah, unfortunately, it is. All right, let's hit our dicks of the week, and we'll head into picks and work our way out of here, boys. All right, it's time for our dicks of the week. It's time to grip it and rip it. If you're new to the show, our dicks of the week is our most disappointing moment of the week, our most infuriating moment of the week, most confusing, most hype, and most shocking. For me, my most disappointing is Air Force getting beat down to the extent they did, and Miami losing. Because like I said earlier when I touched on the Miami game, this is Miami is just a team that will win games that you don't think they're supposed to win and lose games they are not supposed to lose, and this is one of those games they should not have lost. My most infuriating was the fact that Georgia snuck out with a win. I really thought Missouri was going to pull this off and just didn't. So I was actually pretty heated when I saw that, Saturday night. Most confusing, we already kind of touched on it earlier. Kind of blew Jacob away when he saw it, but definitely the Patriots being 2-7 right now, and all the talk around them that Bill Belichick could get fired, and just what a wild time right now it is for the Patriots. The most hype moment, Antonio Pierce getting a big dub for the Las Vegas Raiders. That was pretty sick. And my Hawaii Rainbow Warriors catching a dub this weekend, baby. Let's go. And the most shocking for me, Seattle getting the living shit kicked out of them by Baltimore. I know Baltimore is a damn good team, but I expected a little bit more fight out of the Seattle Seahawks. And those were my dicks of the week.
I'll go next.
Ooh.
Disappointing is the fact that this could be the end of Daniel Jones's career in New York.
Oh yeah.
It's unfortunate because even though the Giants are obviously division rivals with the Cowboys, I have the utmost respect for that team specifically. Fuck the other two teams. And I'm a big Daniel Jones fan. I really like the guy. I think he's a good guy off the field, and he can be a really good guy on the field, but just unfortunate that his career is going to come to an end in New York with a potential season-ending injury. Infuriating. I'm going to chalk it up to K-State not knocking off Texas, which highly pissed me off. They had that game. And they made me lose my parlay.
Oh, no. I don't blame you on that one, bud.
My 8-leg parlay, which that was the only one I did not hit on.
That hurts.
Yeah, I hate it. Confusing. Oklahoma State. Where was this team earlier this year?
True. That was one of Ricky's
If this
points.
team started out like they are now, back when this season first started, they'd be where Oklahoma's sitting at in the top 10, I would think. Most hype. I'm gonna give it to my boy CJ Stroud.
I don't blame you, dude. That was incredible.
I like I said earlier, this is unlike anything else we've ever seen out of a rookie quarterback in quite some time. I don't know the last time that a rookie quarterback has entered the NFL with this much dominance on a shitty team.
Yeah.
Shocking would have to be, I'll give it to Joshua Dobbs.
Oh, true. I should have made that my shocking, honestly.
I think gave a lot of Minnesota fans hope that the season is not dead.
True.
P's and P's to Kirk Cousins, though. Another quarterback where I have mad respect for, even though he used to play in the division, but very underrated.
Facts. All right, Ricky, what
That
about
was
you?
my dicks of the week.
Ricky, it's time to grip it and rip it.
All right, so disappointing. My Jacksonville State team did not get it done against South Carolina. They were tied in the third quarter, and then they laid an egg in the fourth quarter. So I'll go ahead and put that as disappointing. Infuriating. Even though I'm not a New York Jets fan, it's just infuriating to know how much talent that team actually has.
True.
That team has a load of talent, y'all, and to be as up and down as what they have been, you're at home. And I know the Chargers have some good key pieces defensively, but you should have scored a lot more than what you did against that Chargers team. But hats off to the Chargers for definitely for getting that dub, though. They definitely needed that dub. Confusing, the Kansas City Chiefs. They've been up and down. We've seen them go up and down, and all of a sudden, and I can even vice versa say Miami. Because, Miami's had two really big games now that they could have capitalized on and did not show up. So you could go either way. Hype moment, even though it's only going to last for a week, give me my Razorbacks, baby. Got to give me my Razorbacks. That's a big dub going down to Florida, beating Florida in Gainesville for the first time ever. And guys, I think now Billy Napier could be out if he does not win. If there's a possibility he's going to lose out the rest of the season. And if he does, you might be looking for somebody else to be coaching Florida next year. Florida fans are way more impatient than what Arkansas fans are. And then by shocking, let's see, shocking. Do I have anything that's real shocking? I mean, Joshua Dobbs was definitely a good one. Let's see. I really didn't really have much that really shocked me, though. I mean, that's just the thing. I mean, you could say Hawaii won a game, but they didn't play anybody. So
whoa, let me have one thing, man.
Hey, Arkansas! I was shocked Arkansas didn't screw it up. There you go. I was shocked they didn't screw it up.
Hey, man, you got one thing wrong. Florida's beating Florida State still.
I'm telling you, dude, if they play like they did against Arkansas, they're not beating anybody.
I promise you. I have been predicting this since the offseason. I'm pretty sure at the beginning of the offseason, I was predicting this. Florida is beating Florida State at the end of the season.
Well, we'll see, man. We'll see.
All right. And that was all of our dicks of the week. I got to still make that into a shirt. Got to make that into a shirt. Got to put it in the merch store. Probably got to put it in our merch store, which is sparky3shop.com. I don't know if Agent Ink will let me put that one on a shirt. So may have to do that one for a good old Sparky 3 shop shirt. It's been a while since I put something new on there anyway. All right, boys, let's get to our picks. Wrap up the show gloriously. Let me hit some music over here. All right, let me turn it up a little bit. I can hear it a little bit better. All right, let's kick things off with Wyoming at UNLV. Give me Wyoming.
Give me Las Vegas.
I will also take Las Vegas.
Gonna skip the next one because I don't know if it'll be game of the week yet. I still haven't decided I don't know game of the weeks yet. Like, we'll figure that out here in a minute. Temple and South Florida. Give me fuck Temple. Shout out to Tyler.
Give me South Florida, man. That South Florida team has been playing tenacious this season. They haven't won much, but they still have been playing tenacious, especially against Alabama.
Yeah, I'll also take South Florida.
Alabama at Kentucky. Give me Alabama.
This is about to be a blowout. Give me Bama.
Yep, make it 3.
Maryland at Nebraska. Give me the Turtles.
Yeah, give me Maryland. Even though Maryland has a 2-4 record in the Big Ten right now.
Give me Nebraska.
Okay. Next up, this game right here, at one point has been a terrible game of the week, slot with Wagner and Long Island. Give me, I don't know. Give me, they both suck. Give me Wagner. Give me Wagner.
I want to say I'm pretty sure we picked this game last year for a terrible game of the week.
And I'm pretty sure
Wagner last
and
year,
I'm pretty sure
and
the
I
first
lost.
season with me and Tyler picked this for terrible game of the week also. This is like a staple.
Give me Long Island because I've picked Wagner a lot this season, and every time they let me down.
Yeah, fair. I'm changing to Long Island. Give me LIU, baby.
My favorite alcohol drink, Long Island iced tea.
All right, let's get it. All right, next up, we'll skip that one for now. Georgia Tech and Clemson. This is tough, honestly. Clemson coming off the big dub over Notre Dame, but Georgia Tech's played some really good ball this year.
I think this is the start of the up and up for Clemson. I think that win last week really helped boost their confidence, even though this team is pretty mediocre this season. But I really like Georgia Tech here because statistically they are the better team. So give me Georgia Tech.
Yeah, I was about to say Georgia Tech likes to score a lot, and they one thing I really like is when it comes down to the nitty gritty, that defense will step up at times and shocks at people. I'm gonna take Georgia Tech as well.
Give me Clemson. Give me Clemson at home. Next up, North Dakota and South Dakota.
Give me South Dakota.
I picked South Dakota to beat South Dakota State, and I was way wrong. Sorry, Jackrabbit. Give me North Dakota.
Give me North Dakota. Let's see. Ole Miss and Georgia. I tried calling the upset last week and it bit me in the ass. Give me Georgia.
Listen, I said it earlier on this show. If Missouri came within 9 points of beating these Bulldogs, Ole Miss will beat them. Ole Miss overall is a better team than Missouri. Give me the Rebels.
I'm taking Georgia.
Please, I have faith. Please, 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 somebody knock off the freaking Bulldogs.
Give me Ole Miss. Give me Ole Miss. All right, next up, one of Ricky's terrible game of the week nominees that I can't bring myself to make it the terrible game of the week. We have Western Illinois and Indiana State. I can't do it.
I had two terrible games, and all of them were over.
I included.
You can't make this up.
I included both of them for you, but I did not make them the terrible game of the week because honestly, I felt really bad after what happened with Northwestern State. We picked on them for 2 weeks, and then obviously we saw the news. So I felt we got to stop picking on the FCS.
But it's so easy when
I
all of them are
know.
over.
We got to stop though.
But that's the problem, though. You can't take a 3-4 win team and say, "Oh, it's a terrible game of the week."
I know.
When you got literally 2 teams who have not won a game.
I understand.
4 actually.
It's just, we got to stop bullying them.
We are the reason why these teams suck.
We're the reason these teams are talked about.
That's actually fair. I have friends that will hit me up about the show and it's just like, what fucking team are you talking about?
Like I said, when I first listened to this show, this was 3 years ago when I was not on there yet. You guys are bringing up Division III teams, Division II teams. I remember y'all bringing up an NAIA team. And the only reason I knew they were an NAIA team is because Williams, when I worked at school, that's an NAIA school. So, I mean, I don't... We're the only reason these teams are even relevant.
Shout out to Baylor, Mary Harding, or whatever the school's called. I think Tyler still follows them. All right. Western Illinois and Indiana State.
Give me the Sycamores. That's a cooler name.
I agree. Give me the Sycamores. I didn't even know that was their name, but I see it on their logo now.
That's the only reason why I knew it, because it's in the logo.
All right.
The Sycamores, man. The Sycamores.
All right. Now it's my game of the week. Miami at Florida State.
You made this a game of the week?
It's my game of the week. My personal game of the week. This is the most important game of the week.
Do you think Miami has a chance?
Yes, I do.
Tell me why.
If this is the same Miami team that we have seen flashes from, like when we beat the dog shit out of Texas A&M, I think this, like, again, Miami is a team that will lose games that we're not supposed to fucking lose and win games that we weren't supposed to win. I genuinely believe if the same team, if the team that has shown flashes, if the TVD that has shown flashes this year shows up this weekend, Miami can win this game. I really do believe that. My mindset on Florida State is not the same that it was going into the season. I still think they are good. I think they're a great team. I think they are 5th best team in the nation. I put Washington above them, but I see the cracks in the armor. We have a lot of cracks in the armor, but we have shown explosiveness. I think Miami has a chance to win this game. Will they win the game? That I don't know. Fuck, Florida State will probably end up winning, but I genuinely believe Miami has an actual shot.
In the last 2 seasons, it took Miami 5 total overtimes to beat Virginia. I'm taking Florida State.
I do not blame you, but fuck you.
I will agree with you that Florida State has shown a lot of cracks in the armor. And honestly, I think they're the 6th best team in the country. Maybe even the 7th.
Okay.
I think Washington, Oregon, and Texas are all better than Florida State right now.
Okay.
I don't know about Texas, but I'll agree with the two.
I hate to do this to you, Alex, because every time I have predicted this for one of your teams, it has happened. This game's going to overtime.
I love it.
Now that overtime I'm cool with.
35 to 33. Give me the Canes.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go, baby. Big weekend this weekend. Let's get it. Yeah. All right. I'm pumped. I'm ready to watch this game. All right, Tennessee and Missouri. Give me Missouri.
Yeah, give me Missouri. I don't know why Tennessee's in the top 15.
I will also take Missouri.
Duke and North Carolina, big rivalry matchup here. Duke's kind of fallen off a cliff, but they're still a good football team. North Carolina's also fallen off a cliff, but they're still a good football team. Give me North Carolina.
Same.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago I would have taken Duke in a heartbeat, but I'm taking North Carolina.
West Virginia and Oklahoma. Give me Oklahoma.
Give me the Mountaineers, baby.
Ooh, I like it.
Yep,
Oklahoma's dropping out of top 25 this week.
Yep, make it 3 in a row for Oklahoma's losing streak. Go to West Virginia.
Okay, all right. USC at Oregon. Give me Oregon.
Why do I have a feeling that USC is about to knock off Oregon?
I was thinking the same fucking thing.
Why do I have a feeling that the script writers are scripting up a comeback story for Caleb Williams right now? You know, they had it all on the news. He was crying to his mama in the stands. And that just fuels the fire for Caleb Williams to come back out and throw 6 touchdowns to knock off the Ducks. But it's not going to happen. Give me Oregon.
Yeah, I was about to say, because you were talking about, the script writers and everything like that, because this is what's going to happen. If USC does end up pulling this off, all the script making ESPN to let Caleb Williams win the Heisman for a 2nd year in a row. But that's not going to happen. Oregon's going to win.
Next up, Utah and Washington. This is going to be a big game this weekend. Give me the Huskies, though.
Utah's been looking pretty weak for some reason here recently, within the past 3 weeks. Give me Washington by double digits.
Yeah, I mean, if Washington's defense shows up, that's one thing. But the problem is they're not scoring as much. And Washington can score at will. It doesn't matter who the defense is. Give me Washington.
Next up, Ricky's other terrible game of the week nominee, Warford and the Citadel.
Give me Warford in this one.
I love the Citadel's name so much. Give me them just based purely on their name.
Warford's got a better logo, though, but the Citadel's got a better name.
Wolford has a logo of a derpy dog.
Yeah, and that's a great fucking logo to me. I love it. That is a cute doggo. I'm here for it. Give me the derpy dog. Fuck you. Don't disrespect a derpy dog like that. Next up, Arizona, Colorado. Give me Arizona, but I wouldn't be shocked if Colorado finally gets it together and gets a win.
I don't think so. Arizona's been playing tough mouth football so far this season. They played everybody pretty well. And I think they're going to finish the season strong, and I think they're going to finish the season ranked.
What, you think Colorado's going to finish ranked or Arizona? I'm sorry.
Arizona.
Okay.
If Arizona would have beat US a few weeks back, I wouldn't have had to put up with USC being in the top 25 as long as we did win this game.
Okay. I think I heard what he said. Did you say
Yeah,
Arizona?
sure, totally, Ricky. We heard the side.
Hang on.
I heard the hang on.
All right. So anyway, what I was saying is, had Arizona beat USC a few weeks back, I would have had to put up USC being in the top 25. But they're going to beat Colorado, and Colorado could lose out.
Colorado really could lose out. They got a tough road ahead.
Yeah, I don't see them being bowl eligible.
Next up, Texas State at Coastal Carolina. Give me the teal field of Coastal Carolina.
Give me Texas State. Give me the Bobcats on this one.
Big game this week. Texas State finds really good ways to win. Coastal Carolina's been up and down, but I think Texas State will pull this off.
Next up, Southern Illinois at North Dakota State. Give me North Dakota State.
Same.
Yeah, same.
Auburn
What is Southern Illinois' mascot?
Is it a greyhound?
What? I don't think that's a greyhound.
Not a greyhound. That's not. That's a good question.
Another derpy dog.
It's not derpy. Hold on.
Honestly, yeah, it is a derpy dog, but
What the hell is that name? Look, I'm horrible at pronouncing words. Okay, I am a dumb American. All right. The Salukis.
huh?
just look it up. Look it up.
What the hell's a Sophie?
It's like, look, again, I don't know how to pronounce words.
What a random.
So it's like there's a school down
they
here
have an
called
article
Hermitage.
about it. It's one of
and
the
their
first
mascot's
things.
the Hermits, and I've always wanted to ask what the hell a hermit is.
Sorry, they have an article on their website. Like literally, when you look up the team, and the very first link is the Southern Illinois University Athletics official athletics website. Literally, the first link under that is what is their mascot. Like that is the first article underneath that is like what the hell is their mascot. Give me North Dakota State. This is too complicated. Auburn at Arkansas. Give me Auburn.
Same.
Give me the Razorbacks.
Very reluctantly.
All right, East Kentucky at UCA. Give me UCA.
Agreed.
Yeah, UCA back in the top 25. Yeah, I'll take UCA.
Iowa State at BYU. Give me BYU.
Same.
Same.
Our FCS matchup of the week, we have Penn at Harvard. Good Ivy League matchup here. I think one's undefeated, one's got one loss. I think's what it is. Really, really good matchup. I'm feeling Harvard at home.
I am as well.
Yep, make it 3 for 3.
And our FBS game of the week, Michigan at Penn State. That should 100% be a night game. Whiteout. Even if that's not the case, I'm still going to go with the Nittany Lions.
So I predicted back in the offseason that Ohio State was going to beat Penn State. Penn State was going to beat Michigan, and Michigan was going to beat Ohio State. I'm still sticking to that. Penn State wins.
I will be the loner and take Michigan.
That's fair. And our terrible game of the week, to Ricky's dismay, we have Sam Houston State at Louisiana Tech. Give me Louisiana Tech.
Sam Houston State is a good football or an okay football team that's just been playing horrible.
Louisiana Tech's not much better, but La Tech should win.
All right, let's get to the NFL picks, boys. Knock these out real quick. All right. We got a big matchup on Thursday, boys. We have Carolina at Chicago. Big matchup, boys. Oh, what a matchup here. Give me the Bears.
Same.
Aren't you usually bad at picking Bears games though, Alex?
Oh, I'm
picked it
notoriously
last week.
I'm notoriously bad at Bears games.
He picked it right last week.
I think I can only think of like maybe 5 times that I've picked a Bears game correct.
Yeah, I'm also gonna take the Bears.
Indy at New England. Give me Indy.
Same.
Yep. Bye, Bill Belichick.
Give me Green Bay at Pittsburgh. I don't know on this one. This one's tough, honestly. Battle of the mids.
Is Pittsburgh mid though?
Oh yeah.
Pittsburgh ain't a
5-3
mid
record.
team.
Oh yeah.
Give me the Steelers.
Unbelievable defense, mid-ass offense.
True, but that defense has won them those 5 games. Let's be real here. Kenny Pickett is not a good quarterback.
Unfortunately. Give me Green Bay.
I'm taking Pitt.
New Orleans at Minnesota. Let me ride the hype train. Give me Josh Dobbs and the Vikings.
Agreed.
I get 3 for 3.
The Texans at Cincinnati. Jacob, you got a hard pick on this one.
Yeah, Two Ohio State quarterbacks go head to head in the state of Ohio.
Poetic. Give me
Damn.
Cincinnati. They're starting to figure things out.
Who'd you pick, Jacob?
I honestly don't know. I can make a case for both teams. Give me Cincinnati just because they're home.
Screw it. I'll take the upset. Give me Houston.
Cleveland at Baltimore. Give me Baltimore.
Give me Cleveland because that defense is nasty.
Yeah, and usually, I think the last time Baltimore won up a pretty hyped up game, they end up getting beat the very next game. Cleveland guys are starting to sneak up in that division too. If Cleveland wins this game, they're going to make it even more interesting than what it already is. I'm going for the hype on the division. Give me Cleveland.
That's fair.
That whole division's on fire right now.
Facts.
Baltimore 7-2 and everybody else is 5-3. That's one of the best. And they started out pretty shit too.
Yeah, they did.
Yep.
Tennessee at Tampa Bay. Give me Tampa Bay.
Give me Will Levis in the bounce back game.
You said this is Tennessee and Tampa Bay?
Yep, Tennessee, Tampa.
This is hard too because Tampa's defense sucks. Yeah, I'm gonna take Tennessee.
San Fran and Jacksonville. I feel like this will finally come with San Fran's like bounce back game, but I don't know, man. Jacksonville coming off the bye, got a big win before the bye. Like, give me Jacksonville, man. They've won 5 straight.
Yeah, but those 5 wins are against pretty weak teams, though.
Hey, shut the fuck up. We've won 5 straight. What can the Cowboys say?
Hey, now, hold on.
Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. Make your
You played
pick.
better teams than what you guys have in that 5-game
Make your
span.
pick, you coward.
Give me Duval Nation, baby.
Yeah.
As much as I like Jacksonville, San Fran has the better defense. There's definitely no doubt about that. However, Brock Purdy is starting to look like a Mr. Irrelevant. I'm going to also take Jacksonville.
All right, there we go. Detroit at the Chargers. Give me Detroit.
Give me Detroit, but I think they could possibly catch an L.
I agree, but I'll take Detroit for the same reason.
Atlanta at Arizona. I think for the first time all season, give me Arizona.
Same.
Arizona and who?
Atlanta.
Kyle, give me Atlanta.
Kyler Murray's coming back this weekend.
Where's it at?
At Arizona.
Give me Atlanta.
Washington at Seattle. Give me Washington.
Same.
Which Washington team's going to show up?
That's a great question.
That's always the question. And then
Their
last week,
defense is gonna show up.
Seattle looked absolutely horrible last week. They've got to have some kind of a bounce back game. I'll take Seattle.
Giants, Cowboys.
Yep.
Yep.
Jets in Vegas. Give me Vegas.
Give me the Jets. The Jets are still rocking with Sam Wilson. They announced it this, I think it was today actually. So give me the Jets.
What they announced about Sam Wilson?
Zach Wilson.
Zach Wilson is starting this week. There was talks that he might get benched, but Robert Saleh is going with Zach Wilson for the time being.
Okay, give me the Jets.
And then the Monday night game that should have been flexed, but they did not flex it. Denver and Buffalo. Give me Buffalo.
Yep, same.
Yeah, Buffalo bounces back this week.
All right, boys. Made it through all of our picks. Shout out to that. We have reached the end of our show. This one's ended up being right at like 2 hours.
I just realized I picked 2 of the top 4 teams to go down this week.
Yeah, you did.
Hey, crazier things have happened in college football. Crazier things have happened in college football.
Why do I think though? I can't be the only one on this. This weekend has the potential for a lot of upsets.
Well, see, and that's the confusing thing about this entire season is that we've only seen maybe 1, maybe 2 major upsets, and they really haven't been top 5, top 10 teams. They've been this mediocre. I mean, yeah, you could say Kansas and Oklahoma, but I mean, but everybody knew, Kansas has been pretty good. I think when Virginia knocked off North Carolina, that was the first major upset that we've had. We have not had another major upset this year. It's bound to happen.
Yeah, it's like what Ricky's been saying for a while. This is just a really weird football season in NFL and college. Man,
I swear to God, Alabama's going to squeak in. Yeah.
Yeah, they are. At this point, I
They're
believe
going.
All right, boys. I'm gonna hit the music. We're gonna make our way out here. Any last thoughts? Any last words?
Go Hogs!
All right. Shout out. Go Canes, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, go Canes.
Let's go, baby. Get
Go
the
Florida
pick.
State.
Ricky.
I had to, man. I'm sorry. Y'all picked against Arkansas. Y'all picked against Arkansas every single week. Y'all have never once picked Arkansas to win.
All right. You know what? Fair. I won't argue with you on that one. That's fair. But this is different, Ricky. I just pick against Arkansas just to pick against them. You're picking against Miami, against my most hated school.
No, I'm picking against Miami because Miami sucks and
Wow.
Florida State's a good football team.
Fuck you. Coming in here and
Okay.
ruining my vibes.
I'm just saying. Hey, I picked against Arkansas all year. You guys cannot pick against your favorite teams. I don't understand it.
Right. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap up the show. Ricky, thanks for popping in. I knew you were busy, so
Yes, sir.
appreciate
Y'all have a
you,
good
dude.
one.
You too, man. Have a good night. So if you made it all the way to the end, we appreciate the hell out of you. Make sure to check out some Rogue Energy with the referral link down below and promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off, as well as use the referral link for Agent Inc. and buy a jersey. Until next time, guys, have a good one. See ya.